YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, SoundClick, Sports Hub, 202. And this one goes out to Mark Howell. Stay focused, Mark. Stay focused. Mark, in all his brilliance, asked me to explain a post route. But the way, but the, you know, one reason why I really like the way Mark put his question is he didn't ask for an expert. He said, "As you know, football." So I could be completely oblivious. And he was, and as you know it, you'd just say, I'm completely oblivious. I have no idea as I know football, but I do know a little bit of something about football. I played all the way up to the 12th grade, and when I was in the Army, I was going to play, but I didn't feel like getting hit that hard and not be able to punch somebody in the face. So that was it for football for me. I no longer had the desire to be hit. And yeah. But so I went on YouTube and looked up running a proper post route in football, how to cut during the football route. Now let's be clear: a post route is a route where you're making a 45-degree cut or more towards the goalpost. That's the whole purpose of a post route. Now, once again, brother Mark, brother Mark asked me as far as I know it. So you guys can go ahead and look that information up and look on how to run a post route. But I think he wanted my opinion on football as a partial to plays, because I talk about how uh, some of these plays are fixed plays, and they're fixed. You only need a few people to fix a play in any game to make it seem like it's something that it's not. Case in point, Matt Ryan. What? 2nd and 10? You throw the ball, Matt Ryan? What? Why? You know what I'm saying? With only a few minutes left in the game, just run the doggone ball. Run the game out, boom. You guys win. So, but nonetheless, it only takes a few people, and some of those people are receivers. Uh, or the running back. Now, the running back during that play also completely missed the block on Hightower, number 54, who came in through the back and just pretty much creamed Matt Ryan and got him on a fumble before his hand went forward. Okay, so, but then you have plays that are, were ran in the Super Bowl, like the ones that Julio Jones, some of his catches. Now, a lot of his catches they were not post routes, because they were not going towards the goalpost. They would go down and kind of like flag in, head towards the sideline. He was making beautiful sideline catches. So as far as what the post route is, that is. But as far as why you use the post route, well, I was thinking about this when I was driving home, and I was thinking, when you use the post route, to me, when I played, I'm not a professional player, and I don't watch football. So, but when we played, when we used the post route, we were trying to get the first down. It was all about the first down. And, if you were going to go long, boom, you go long, but it's usually like 1st and 10, boom, you have, what I'm saying, you're at their 20, you wing the ball down there in 60 yards, see if you can, do something with that. If you miss, so what? You still got 3 more downs. So, as far as when to use a post route, a lot of times you're going to be squeezed when you use a post route. Not unless the post route is going to cover about 30 or 40 yards. Let me recapitulate that. If you're going to use a button hook, which is, go down, run 4 or 5 yards, turn around, boom, ball's right there. Quarterback throws the ball, before you even turn around, boom, the ball's in your chest. Boom, ball hits you solid. You're looking at 1st and 10 on that, trying to get a first down. Post routes, now that I'm thinking about it, are actually they can be used for short or long distance, but it depends on how you run the post route. It depends on who your quarterback is. And I mean, there's just so many variables that go into it. Who's watching you? So let's just pick some players that we know. All right, Mark? Let's pick some players that we're familiar with so we can try to get a visual on when my depiction of when a post route is needed. And then you guys can go on to YouTube and watch some runs of players when they actually use it and see if I'm right or wrong. It doesn't really matter. It's just a conversation. So let's just say that you had a Deion Sanders in the backfield. We all know that Showtime was one of the best defenders and people who would get an interception on you in a heartbeat. He was as fast as Deion Hester or Devin Hester. He was as elusive as Ishmael the Rocket and as fast as Ishmael the Rocket, pretty much. And so, with somebody like that in the backfield, it's like, and you run a post route on them, it's a good chance that unless you're Randy Moss and you're running a 4-2, Deion Sanders, who can run a 4-2-4-1 in the combine, is going to not only be able to keep up with you, he's going to be able to see where you're going, and he's going to run with you stride for stride, defend you, and then get ahead of you. This is how fast he was. He can defend you, get ahead of you, because he already knows you're running a post route now. You come out, you do your little fake, you turn in, 5-6 yards, boom, turn in, you start looking for the ball. Now, the post route can be short or long, you know what I'm saying, as far as I know. But most of the time, you're covering 20 yards, boom, post route, you're already looking for the ball. Deion Sanders can accelerate not only with you, past you within that time. So it's a good chance when you're playing against him, you want him to be playing, and let's go through our downs. Say it's a 1st and 10. Sanders is going to play you back because they're going to be looking for you to throw the ball long. They're not going to look for Walter Payton to come out of the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Give Walter Payton the ball that runs down the sideline. They're not going to look for that so much, try to defend that so much, but let's just say you were the Steelers, and your running game is just on point. This is just hypothetics. Let's say Sanders was playing against the Steelers and the bus was in the backfield, the fullback. The bus was in the backfield, and it's 1st and 10. There's a good chance they'll give it to the bus because the bus will make 5 yards easily. Next thing you know, it's 2nd and 2. You know what I'm saying? Boom, run a post route. Next thing you know, you got you got Tom Brady throwing it to Edelman on a post route. Bam! Right there. You know what I'm saying? Just quick, Amendola. Boom! There it is. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends on who you're playing and what the situation is as far as the downs go. But if you're looking at a long post route and you're playing up against Richard Sherman, Richard Sherman's pretty quick. He's not as quick as Sanders, but Sherman is going to still be able to read you because he's just good at that. And or the Legion of Boom 3 years ago, instead of trying to match your speed on a post route, what they're going to do is hit you off the line and stop your leg rotation so you're not accelerating as fast. Then in comes a Richard Sherman once you hit the backfield. He's going to pick you up because he may not be as fast as Sanders, but now you're not accelerating at your top speed. And he saw you coming. He's going to adjust his speed because you already been tapped off the line. Boom, tap, go into the secondary. Now you're in the secondary. He's got 3 steps on you. Boom, he's going to read you. He's either going to bump you or he's going to go ahead and snatch the ball from you, or he's just going to he's going to disrupt the pass altogether. This is what happened in the playoffs when Sherman went up against Crabtree, who now plays for the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? He would disrupt Crabtree's ability to catch the ball. And this is also what happened in the Super Bowl when they went up against Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl and beat them 48-7. what the Legion of Boom did was they disrupted all of the receivers' ability to even want to catch the ball. They just would intimidate them and hit them. So you have different defenses that affect you a different way. Let's just say it was a Lynn Swan and a John Stallworth. You know what I'm saying? Well, and you're running, when you're looking at post routes there, Lynn Swan was able to jump over most defenders, because you got to understand, usually the person in the backfield is not that tall. Uh, Okay, so Lynn Swan would be able to leap up over you because he took ballet lessons. So he'd be able to leap up over you. So if he ran a post route, he's going to run a post route. Terry Bradshaw is going to look at Lynn Swan running a post route. He's going to look at John Stallworth running straight down the field. And what they're going to do is they're going to they're going to make you think the Stallworth is getting the ball. Let's just say that it's 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8, and they're on and Pittsburgh is on Dallas's 30. Pittsburgh is on Pittsburgh's 30. So you got 70 yards to go. So basically, they're just like, we got John Stallworth and Lynn Swan. What do you think is about to happen? So John Stallworth is going to burn. He's just going to take off, burn. Or let's change that around. Let's just say that it's Pittsburgh playing against the Redskins. I don't even think that would happen. But back then they had a person called Darrell Green. Darrell Green was small, but he tracked down Eric Dickerson in open field. And Eric Dickerson to this day is still upset about that. Why? Because Eric Dickerson was one of the fastest people in the league, and he got caught from behind. But the thing about it is, Darrell Green would have caught anybody from behind. So, Eric, why are you mad at yourself? He even mentions that today. He's like, that loss in that game against the Redskins was my fault. He was like, I got caught from behind. It's just like Darrell Green would have caught anybody from behind. Anybody on the field, even BB. Remember the white dude, BB? He would have caught BB from behind because Darrell Green at that time was the fastest guy on the field. So when you're looking at running a post route against somebody with that kind of speed and the quarterback knows the defense, there's a good chance it's not going to happen too often. What they're going to do is bait and switch. And this is what Lynn Swan and Terry Bradshaw was good at. Lynn Swan, Terry Bradshaw, John Stallworth. Stallworth would go long. Lynn Swan would run a post route. Boom, there's 15 yards in your face. This is why Pittsburgh won so much. Plus, they had a dynamite running backfield, and their defense was awesome. Some more examples of that would be, let's take a Ray Lewis. I like to talk about Ray Lewis, but I don't like Ray Lewis. But Ray Lewis, I like to talk about him because he was a pinnacle of a player. He was the pinnacle of what intimidation should be. So when he was on the field for the Ravens, you knew it. You feared him. You respected him, but you feared him, and you feared him. Everyone. I don't care if you're a nose guard. You feared what he could do to a teammate. You feared how he can change the game instantly, even if it looked like you were winning. When he got on the field, you feared he can cause a fumble. You feared he can take out one of your receivers and completely out of the game. Or one of your running backs. You know what I'm saying? You come on up the middle like you're Christian Okoye and get stopped. Yeah, boom! Boom, Christian Okoye, flat down on his ass. That was it. Changed his whole life. It changed his whole life, that one hit. And it wasn't Ray who did it. I forgot who hit it, but it changed his whole life. So, when you got somebody like Lawrence Taylor on the field who's talking to you the whole time, and you try to run a short post, here's what's going to happen defensively. Lawrence Taylor's going to line up in the backfield and maybe defensive back, right? He's going to look at Boomer Esiason, and he's going to listen to Boomer Esiason's cadence. Play for the Cincinnati, I think play for Cincinnati. He's going to look at Boomer's, and he's going to listen to his cadence, and he's going to find the rhythm of his cadence. And once he sees that foot move, Lawrence Taylor is going to do one or two things. He's either going to come straight through the middle and run right over the nose guard if he thinks that somebody's going to be coming up, running straight up the middle, or he's going to take 2 steps back. This is when the post route can get disrupted by two different defensive players. One, he takes a step back because he sees a wideout. He sees an offensive end, he sees a wideout, he sees a quarterback, and he sees a running back, and then he sees another wideout. So he's like, okay, this is going to be a pass play. They're not going to come up the middle here. We got 4 on the front. They're not coming up the middle. This is not going to be a draw. This is going to be a 3-step, 4-step, stay in the pocket. Boomer's going to wing that dang ball. What am I going to do? I'm going to pick up either this offensive end coming out of the field, but I'm not going to pick up this receiver, this wide receiver, who's either going to run a flag or he's going to run he's not going to run a button hook. So I know that they're trying to get 8 or 9 yards here. So one of them is going to run a post route. That post route is not going to be too far. He's going to take 3 steps back. That offensive player, he's going to take 1, 2, 3. He's going to start cutting in. Lawrence Taylor is going to step back, raise his hands up in the air, boom. Even if he doesn't touch the ball, the point is he's got his hands up in the air so you can't see. It's going to make it harder for Esiason to pinpoint that offensive player coming around on a post. And I can just disrupt the play. Even if they don't catch it, it can just disrupt the play completely. Put your hands up in the air, boom. Or you can tip the ball, or you might fool around and run a post route and run right into LT. So that's just my opinion. It all depends on who's playing at the time. It's never as easy as it looks. And I could be completely wrong, but that's the way I see it. I tried to use some big names so you guys can go and look at what they did and how they disrupted post routes, because post routes are very valuable. You have your long routes and you have your short routes. You have your speed guys. If you look at some of the fastest receivers in the game, running a post route was just magic because nobody could catch them, And the number one example to me of that, not the number one receiver, but the number one example of speed and pure talent it was just hard to stop, is, you guys guessed it, Randy Moss. He was 6'4". He is 6'4", runs a 4.2. Once he got past you in the post route, most defenders were not tall enough to be able to stop him. So he just barely jumping and boom, touchdown. Today, an example of that is, let's look at a couple years ago when Russell Wilson was throwing it to that guy. Doggone, I don't even know his name. But it was when they won the Super Bowl. No, it's when they lost the Super Bowl against the Pats. And they had a guy who was who was working at Foot Locker. Then next thing you know, he's in the Super Bowl. He's 6'6". Well, he was so tall, he would catch the ball over the smaller defenders. Then finally, they got somebody out there who is his height and stopped everything. But he was running posts all day, and killing them. So it all depends on who you got. If you got a Darrelle Revis back there, he's going to shut down that corner. You're not going to see too many posts come out of that corner. You know what I'm saying? So it's your boy Tone 202. You guys let me know what you think. Peace.